As we get ever closer to the release of Breath of the Wild, more and more news on the game is surfacing. Because of this, there'll probably be a few more of these mini news update videos to come, sort of roundups of recent information. Over the past day or so, we got a confirmation on the number of shrines, a number of side quests, an alternate ending and more. So let's get into it. So, the first news we'll cover comes from Amazon UK's listing of the Piggyback limited edition collector's guide for the game. You remember those cryptic tweets Piggyback posted leading up to the reveal of these really pretty books? Those ones. The Amazon UK page for them has a detailed description of their content, listing awesome features like a combat strategy guide, puzzle solutions, and most interestingly, 120 shrine mini-dungeons, 90 KOROK seed puzzles, 76 side quests all mapped out and ready for you to discover and complete. We already knew from E3 that Breath of the Wild featured over 100 shrines, but it's nice to know the actual number of the Sheikah mini-dungeons, 120. It goes without saying that this is by far the most mini-dungeons we've ever had in a Zelda game, and it seems that they range from quite simple to pretty extensive challenges, with their own puzzles and even mini-bosses. For anyone who was worried about a lack of actual content in Breath of the Wild, 120 of these mini-dungeons is for sure a welcome confirmation. As for the 900 KOROK seed puzzles, your guess is as good as mine. The KOROK seeds are mysterious items given to Link by Koroks when he discovers them in hidden locations around the world. The item description suggests that when you gather a few together, something interesting happens, but I've no idea how these puzzles fit into this. And 900 of them! How big can these be? Next up, one of the biggest confirmations, the side quest count, which is in this game 76. What this number really means depends on what the guide classes as side quests, whether it's simple fetch quests or full Majora's Mask style mini storylines. If it's the former, 76 seems like a relatively small amount, but if it's detailing larger mini stories, we're in for a monster amount of content. We actually saw a side quest beginning in recent gameplay, where an old man at a stable tells Link that nearby a white horse has been spotted, a horse which could very well have ties to the royal family. He asks Link to bring the horse back to a stable and register it for him, though warns that the horse might be quite difficult to tame, and it's clear that this is what the game considers a side quest by the text here. Could this side quest have some more to it, or is it really just taming a horse for a reward? Next up in Breath of the Wild news, we have a slew of confirmations by series producer IG Aonuma. The first of which is that dual audio won't be a feature present in the game, meaning no Japanese audio with English subtitles and in-game text. This isn't really a feature that bothers me too much, but for those who prefer Japanese voice acting, it's a bit of a problem, so much so that it sparked an online petition for its inclusion. Now, I don't really think this will do anything for the game at release, because I'm sure the game's already finalised and there's going to be no more delays, touch wood, but it's not impossible for future updates. Aonuma also confirmed that Epona herself is in the game, though he's really elusive about how she's present or how we'll get a hold of her. But because of the inclusion of taming different horses with different stats as a mechanic, it makes sense for her to be included as a late game reward for a side quest, a horse with great stats. And the last update from Aonuma is that Breath of the Wild will indeed feature multiple different endings. This was something I called a long while ago, judging by just how many different possible ways there are to play this game. We've known for half a year that we'll be able to travel to and fight the Calamity Ganon as soon as we leave the Great Plateau at the very start of the game, so it makes sense that in order to get a kind of true ending, we'll have to complete the game's main dungeons and storyline, which matches up with what Aonuma says, how meeting certain criteria will trigger a different ending. So that about wraps up this mini news roundup for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. What do you guys think about the revelations, the side quest count, alternate endings? Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.